Hey, it's Alvin from Atomic Shelf, and today we're diving into a story older than time itself, a tale of monsters, kings, and the kind of courage that burns even after the hero's gone. Let's talk about Beowulf.
Right from the very first line, you know this isn't just a story, it's a saga, something hammered into memory. The poet is basically telling us to lean in and listen close, because what we're about to hear are the deeds of legends, an echo from a world that was both brutal and glorious, a world that desperately needed heroes.
And this is the core of it all, isn't it? It's the classic playbook. First, you have a light in the darkness, this great hall built for celebration. Then, that light gets snuffed out by a terror that owns the night. And finally, a hero makes a vow to cross the sea and bring back the dawn. That's the anatomy of a legend right there.
I want you to just picture it. Heorot, the greatest meat hall ever built. A masterpiece of gold and timber, alive with the songs of warriors and the sounds of celebration. It was a symbol of everything good, everything civilized, a bright fire pushing back the dark. But now, a shadow has fallen. For years, those fires have been cold, the benches are empty, and the sound of laughter, it's been replaced by the chilling silence of fear.
And this is the source of that fear. See, Grendel isn't just some random beast. The poem is very specific. He's an outcast, a direct descendant of Cain, the first murderer. He's a creature that is physically pained by the sound of human joy. All that singing and laughter from Heorot, to him it's like a knife twisting, a constant reminder of the light he's been banished from.
For 12 years, this thing has ruled the night. 12 long winters of slaughter. Just think about that. An entire generation has grown up knowing nothing but the absolute dread of Grendel's nightly hunt. Hope? That's long gone. The mighty Danes have been brought to their knees.
But word gets out. News of this suffering travels across the sea. And in the land of the Geats, it reaches a man who's described as, literally, the mightiest of his age. This is Beowulf. And when he hears about a king's grief and a monster's rampage, he doesn't hesitate. He orders a ship to be made ready. He chooses to sail right into the heart of the horror.
Now, this isn't going to be some epic battle with armies and banners. No way. This is something far more primal. It's one man, representing all the light and order in the world, standing watch in a dark hall, just waiting. Waiting for pure chaos to come crashing through the door.
And this, right here, is what makes Beowulf, well, Beowulf. He's heard that the monster doesn't use weapons, that he fights with this unnatural, cruel strength. So, to make it a true contest, Beowulf decides to even the odds. No sword, no shield. He's going to meet Grendel on his own terms, flesh against flesh, will against will. And then, the moment arrives. Grendel stalks in from the misty moors, just seething with rage. He doesn't knock. He rips the iron-strapped doors right off their hinges. The poem says, an evil light, like a flame, blazed in his eyes as he saw the warriors inside, ready for his feast. He lunges, he tears one man apart in a heartbeat, and then he reaches for Beowulf. But this time, something reaches back. Beowulf grabs his arm, and in that one instant, the monster knows. He's never felt a grip like this in his entire monstrous life. For the very first time, the hunter feels the cold trap of fear. The whole hall groans and shakes as they wrestle. I mean, the fight is so violent, it's a miracle the building is still standing. But Beowulf just holds on, and the poem gives us this one brutal detail. Fingers cracked. Grendel, the terror of the Danes, can feel his own body breaking in the hero's grip. Then comes this unearthly scream from Grendel. It's not a roar of rage, it's a song of pure terror and defeat. He pulls with everything he's got, but the only way he's getting free is by leaving something behind. His entire arm is torn from its socket. Mortally wounded, he flees back into the darkness to die, leaving his limb behind as a gruesome trophy. So the sun rises, Heorot is cleansed, and everyone celebrates. But the story isn't over, not even close. Because as Beowulf is about to find out, monsters are rarely alone. And sometimes when you kill one, you just get the attention of something far older and far angrier. To face this new threat, Beowulf has to leave the world of men. He has to go down into the monster's lair, and the poem describes this place with this chilling, supernatural dread. It's this haunted lake where the water itself seems to burn at night, a place so foul that a deer being chased by wolves would rather die on the shore than jump into those waters.
And you gotta understand, this is a totally different kind of fight. Grendel was just mindless rage, an outcast lashing out. But his mother, oh, she's driven by calculated vengeance. She's not just attacking civilization, she's retaliating for her son. She represents this deeper, more ancient evil, a mother's grief that has festered into a monstrous power down there in the dark. Beowulf wins again. He literally descends into hell and comes back. He returns home a living legend, he's given a throne, and he becomes a wise and noble king. And then, life goes on. Peace reigns. And just like that, 50 years pass. The hero gets old, his people are safe, but his own strength isn't what it used to be.
Of course, a new monster rises, but this one's different. It's not born from jealousy or grief. This is the dragon. And in a way, the dragon is the physical embodiment of time itself, of fate and the end that comes for all great things. A slave steals one single cup from its massive treasure hoard, and this ancient terror awakens. And the dragon doesn't just kill, it burns the world, turning homes and fields to ash. It really represents the destructive force of greed, of entropy, the inevitable decay that threatens every kingdom, no matter how glorious.
Beowulf knows he's old. He feels it in his bones. He knows this fight could very well be his last. But he's a king, and he has always put his people first. This isn't about glory anymore, it's about duty. It's the conscious choice of a ruler to shield his people with his own body, even if it costs him everything. So why do we keep coming back to this ancient story, a warrior fighting beasts in the dark? It's because the monsters are never just monsters. They are the personification of the challenges we have to face. They give the hero, and they give us, a reason to find our courage. Beowulf's life shows us that greatness is a lonely road. He fights Grendel alone. He dives into that burning lake alone. And in the end, when his own men run, he faces the dragon alone. The price of being the shield for everyone else is that you have no shield of your own. When you strip it all away, the poem is about these timeless conflicts. It's the courage of one person standing up against what feels like a pre-written fate. It's the burning desire for a name that will outlast your body, set against the cold, hard fact that everyone dies. It's the constant struggle to keep the lights on, to hold back the endless wilderness that's always waiting. It's not just Beowulf's story, it's our story. Beowulf dies, but he dies in victory. He kills the dragon and saves his people, but at the cost of his own life. The poem doesn't treat this as a tragedy. It's a fitting end. His soul departs to seek its reward. His duty is done. He lived as a hero, and he died as a king. And so the poem ends, but its questions just hang there in the air. Our monsters have changed shape, right? They don't breathe fire, but they threaten to burn down our world all the same. The decay that undermines our best efforts, the greed that hoards progress, the fear that keeps us locked away in the dark. The real question Beowulf leaves us with is just as urgent now as it was then. When they rise, who's going to stand up and face them?